Chapter 2 of Jubilees. It's like I'm not looking for inconsistencies because I know it's canon for some people. However, I want to see if it lines up with my Protestant, standard Bible also. And also it's filling in like little gaps you don't see in Exodus, which I have not read Leviticus and Numbers all the way through yet. I'm working on it. But this definitely fills in a lot of blanks from the Exodus story. And the angel of the presence spake to Moses according to the word of the Lord, saying, Write the complete history of the creation. Now in 6 days the Lord finished all his works and all that he created, and kept Sabbath on the 7th day. On the 7th day, and a ladder for all ages, and appointed as a sign for all his works. For on the first day he created the heavens which are above the earth, and the waters, and all the spirits which serve before him, the angels of the presence, and the angels of sanctification, and the angels of the spirit of fire, and the angels of the spirit of the winds, and the angels of the spirit of cloud and of darkness, and of snow and of hail, and of whatever it is, huer, frost, and the angels of the voices, and the thunder, and of the lightning, and the angels of the spirits of cold, and of the heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn, and of summer, and of all the spirits of his creatures which are in the heavens and on the earth. He created the abysses and the darkness, eventide and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he hath prepared in the knowledge of his heart. And thereupon we saw his works. He praised him, and alluded before him on account of all his works. For 7 great works did he create on the first day. On the second day he created the firmament in the midst of the waters, and the waters were divided on the day. Half of them went above, and half of them went down below the firmament that was in the midst over the face of the whole earth. And this was the only work God created on the second day. On the third day he commanded the waters to pass from the face of the whole earth into one place, and the dry land to appear. And the waters did so as he commanded them, and they retired from off the face of the earth into the one place outside of this firmament, and the dry land appeared. And on that day he created for them all the seas according to their separating gathering places, and all the rivers, and the gatherings of the waters, and the mountains, and on all the earth, to all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all sprouting things, and fruit-bearing trees, and the trees of the wood, and the garden of Eden, and Eden, and all plants after their kind. These 4 great works God created on the third day. And on the fourth day he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the firmament of heaven, to give light upon all the earth, to rule over the day and the night, divide the light from the darkness. And God appointed the sun to a great sign on the earth, for days, and for Sabbaths, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for Jubilees, for all seasons of the year. And it divideth the light from the darkness, for prosperity, that all things may prosper which shoot and grow on the earth. These 3 kinds he made on the 4th day. And on the 5th day he created great sea monsters in the depth of the water. For these were the first things of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish, and everything that moves in the water, and everything that flies, the birds, and all their kind. And the sun rose above them to prosper them, and above everything that was on the earth, everything that shoots out of the earth, and all fruit-bearing trees, and all flesh. These 3 kinds he created on the 5th day. And on the 6th day he created all the animals of the earth, and all cattle, everything that moves on the earth. And after all this he created man. A man and a woman created he them, and gave him dominion over all that is above, upon the earth, and in the seas, and over everything that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth, and over all this he gave his dominion. And these 4 kinds he created on the 6th day, and there were altogether 22 kinds. He finished all his work on the 6th day. All that is in the heavens, and on the earth, and in the seas, and in the abysses, and in the light, and in the darkness, and in everything. He gave us great sign the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep Sabbath on the 7th day from all work. And all the angels with the presence, and all the angels of sanctification, these 2 great classes he had bidden us to keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. And he said unto us, Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and these shall keep the Sabbath day, and that I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them, as I have sanctified the Sabbath day, and sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, and that they may keep the Sabbath thereon all work. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep Sabbath with us the 7th day, to eat and to drink, and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, that they should keep Sabbath together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet savor acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work were made until the Sabbath day. This is blessed and holy. And the former also is blessed and holy, and this one serves with that one for sanctification and blessing. And to this, Jacob and his seed, it was granted that they should always be the blessed and the holy ones through the first testimony and law, even as he had sanctified and blessed the Sabbath day. On the 7th day he created heaven and the earth, and created that and everything that he created in 6 days, and God made the 7th day holy. For all his works, therefore, he commanded on his behalf, whoever does any work thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it surely die. Wherefore do thou command the children of Israel to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not do thereon any work, and not to defile it, as it is holier than all other days. Whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. The children of Israel may observe this day throughout their generations, and not to be rooted out of the land, for it is a holy day and a blessed day, and everyone who observes it and keeps Sabbath thereon from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout the days like unto this. Declare and say to the children of Israel the law of this day, both that they should keep Sabbath thereon, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work thereon which is unseemly, to do thereon their own pleasure, and that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk, and that it is not lawful to draw water, or bring in, or take out thereon through their gates, and any burden which they had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings, and they shall not bring in, nor take out from the house to house on that day, for that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. And on this we kept Sabbath in the heavens, before it was made known to any flesh to keep Sabbath there on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed it. But he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath thereon, but Israel alone, them alone, he permitted to eat and drink, to keep Sabbath there on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed this day, which he had created for blessings and holiness and glory above all days. This law and testimony was given to the children of Israel as a law forever unto their generations. That is extremely Old Testament. Wow, that was not as Catholic as I thought. That was a very, very Jewish chapter, and I don't mean that in any bad way. Let's go through chapter 3 and see what's up. And on the 6th day of the 2nd week, we brought, according to the word of God, unto Adam all the beasts, all the cattle, all the birds, everything that moves on the earth, and everything that moves into the water, according to their kinds, and according to their types, the beasts on the 1st day, the cattle the 2nd day, the birds on the 3rd day, and all that moves on the earth on the 4th day, and that which moves in the water on the 5th. And Adam named them all by their respective names, as he called them, so was their name. And on these 5 days Adam saw these, male and female, according to every kind that was on the earth, but he was alone, and found no helpmeet for him. And the Lord said unto us, It is not good that the man should be alone. Let us make a helpmeet for him. And the Lord our God caused a deep sleep to fall upon him, and he slept. And he took from the woman one rib from amongst his rib, and this rib was the origin of the woman from amongst his ribs, and he built up the flesh in its stead, and built this woman. And he awakened Adam out of his sleep, and on the awakening he rose on the 6th day, and he brought her to him, and he knew her, and he said unto her, This is now bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called my wife, because she was taken from her husband. Therefore shall man and wife be one. And therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. In the first week Adam created, and the rib his wife. In the second week he showed her unto him, and for the reason the commandment was given to keep in their defilement, for a male 7 days, and for a female twice 7 days. And after Adam completed 40 days in the land where he had been created, we brought him into the Garden of Eden to till and keep it. But his wife they brought in on the 80th day, and after this she entered into the Garden of Eden. And for this reason the commandment is written on the heavenly tablets, in regard to her that gives birth. If she bears a male, she shall remain in her uncleanness 7 days, according to the first week of days, and 33 days shall be she remain in the blood of her purifying, and she shall not touch any hallowed thing, nor enter into any sanctuary until she accomplishes these days which are enjoined in the cause of a male child. But in the case of a female child, she shall remain in her uncleanliness 2 weeks of days, according to the first 2 weeks, and 66 days in the blood of her purification, and they will be all 80 days. And when she had completed these 80 days, we brought her into the Garden of Eden, for it is holier than all the earth, besides and every tree that is planted, and it is holy. Mountain plateaus. Therefore, there was ordained regarding her who bears a male or a female, that the statute of those days, that she should touch no hallowed thing, nor enter into the sanctuary, until these days for a male or female child are accomplished. This is the law and the testimony which was written down for Israel, in order that they should observe it all the days. And in the first week, on the first Jubilee, 1 through 7 a.m., Adam and his wife were in the Garden of Eden for 7 years, tilling and keeping it. And we gave him work, and we instructed him to do everything that is suitable for tillage. And he tilled the garden, and was naked, and he knew it not, and was not ashamed. And he protected the garden from the birds and the beasts and the cattle, and gathered its fruit, and eat, and put aside the residue for himself and for his wife, and put aside that which was being kept. And after the completion of the 7 years which he had completed there, 7 years exactly, 8 a.m., and in the second month, on the 7th day of the month, the serpent came and approached the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, Hath God commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? She said to it, Of all the fruit and of the trees of the garden God has said unto us, Eat. But of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said to us, Ye shall not eat, therefore neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. The serpent says unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth not know that on the day ye shall eat thereof, your eyes will be open, and ye will be as gods, at lowercase g, and ye will know good and evil. And the woman saw the tree, that it was agreeable and pleasant to their eye, and that its fruit was good for food, and she looked therefore and eat. And when she had first covered her shame with fig leaves, she gave thereof to Adam, and he eat. And his eyes were open, he saw that he was naked. And he took fig leaves and sewed them together, and made an apron for himself, and covered his shame. And God cursed the serpent, and was wroth with it forever. And he was wroth with woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. And he said unto her, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy pains. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth child, and thou shalt thy return shall be unto thy husband, and he will rule over thee. And to Adam also he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat thereof, cursed by the ground for thy sake. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat thy bread and the sweat of thy face, till thou returnest to the earth from whence thou wast taken. For earth thou art, and unto earth shalt thou return. And he made for them coats of skin, and clothed them, and sent them forth from the Garden of Eden. And on that day on which Adam went forth from the garden, he offered as a sweet savor an offering, frankincense, galbanum, stank, and spices in the morning with the rising of the sun from the day when he covered his shame. And on that day was closed mouth of all beasts, and of cattle, and birds, and of whatever walks, and of whatever moves, so that they could no longer speak, for they had all spoken one with another, with one lip and one tongue. He just says he talked to animals. And he set out of the Garden of Eden all flesh that was the Garden of Eden, and all the flesh that was scattered according to its kind, and according to its type, unto the place which had been created for them. And to Adam alone did he give there wherewithal to cover his shame of the beast and cattle. On this account it is prescribed on the heavenly tablets as touching all those who know the judgment of the law, that they should cover their shame, and should not uncover themselves, the Gentiles uncover themselves. And on the new moon, on the 4th month, Adam and his wife went forth from the Garden of Eden, and they dwelt in the land of Elda, and the land of their creation. And Adam called the name of his wife Eve. And they had no son till the first Jubilee, 8 a.m. And after this he knew her. Now he tilled the land as he had been instructed in the Garden of Eden. Okay, let's shoot back up to... And on that day was closed the mouth of all beasts, and of all cattle, and of all birds, and of whatever walks, and of whatever moves, so that they could no longer speak, for they had all spoken with one another, with one lip and with one tongue. I have to look this up to see if it's canon. I'll be back. So this is another one of them joints that is only, and I say only, canon in the Ethiopian traditional Bible, just like Enoch. But this is lining up. And I mean, it's not filling in the dots with crazy stuff, but it's adding things that line up with Enoch. So I'm going to say that this so far is biblical. I really do. I'd say so. Jubilees. Jubilees. I like saying it too. Jubilees.